thought of being among many of my former castmates made me sick with anxiety. I didn't trust them or some of the producers. Production had 7 years to turn my narrative around and failed to do so. This was my time to put my foot down and show them they didn't own or control me. When I first finished filming Dance Moms, I wanted to write about my experience on the show. A few of the girls had already published books, so I felt the need to share my side of the story. I'm so happy I ended up waiting. I was young and angry, and I know I would have said things I'd regret. Time away from the show allowed me to reflect and gather my thoughts, but the desire to share my story never wavered. And after a few years, I began to wonder whether it was finally the right time. I had just started meeting with my book agent about figuring out the process when one of my closest friends and former Dance Moms co-star, Chloe Lukasiak, and I got together to hang out. We started talking about our time on the show, and Chloe expressed surprise that I hadn't yet shared my experience more outwardly. I told her I'd been scared of Abby for the longest time, and was also afraid of the backlash I might receive from former castmates and the network. "You should talk about it," Chloe said confidently. "People will want to hear from you." She floated the idea of sharing a video on YouTube to address everything, but I always knew my story needed more space to be told. It had to be a book. A year and a half later, I shared with Chloe that, while I wasn't doing the reunion show, I was writing my story. She was so excited for me, and I never regretted my decision not to attend. If anything, hearing some of the negative comments after the episode aired justified my concerns about participating. Moreover, I didn't want to allow others to railroad my story into the direction they saw fit. Everything was aligning, and I knew now was the time for my voice, my perspective, to take center stage. When I told my parents I was ready to write my book, the first question they asked was what the title would be. "Bottom of the Pyramid," I said. They understood how deep that title was for me, which was exactly why my dad was worried about it. He knew I had put so much work into getting people to see me as not always being at the bottom. But to me, the title wasn't something negative. I was reclaiming it and turning it into a positive. After all, it's a testament to a large portion of my life. From the age of 3 until well into my teenage years, I was a member of the Abby Lee Dance Company, ALDC, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Many assume I joined the studio for the show, but I was there for many years prior to the studio landing a TV deal with Lifetime in 2011. The ensuing hit Dance Moms would go on to air in more than 130 countries and be translated into 10 different languages. The breadth and depth of the show's success was unimaginable. What started as a 6-week run and then 7 added episodes over the summer became a pop culture phenomenon overnight, and we girls were suddenly household names. I remember the first time we all saw ourselves on a big screen at our premiere party in Las Vegas. It was simultaneously exciting and weird, and it never got old. Nor did the opportunities that followed, like winning a Kids' Choice Award, or performing on The View, or being nominated for several Teen Choice Awards. Each time felt refreshing and different, and we were grateful for our incredible fandom, which has, overall, proven to be supportive and loving. However, there are some who can be cruel and hurtful. It was hard reading comments that I should not have been on the team and that I was a bad dancer. Sometimes people would even quote Abby's negativity, taking her awful words as gospel. Luckily, over time, I found mentors and a dance support system who saw value in my talents. They believed in me and lifted me up despite the negativity that brewed online. Viewers' perception of me stemmed from me always being on the bottom of the pyramid. This pyramid was a tiered system that showed how my castmates and I ranked each week in the eyes of the founder, Abby Lee Miller, based on our dance capabilities. She would literally arrange our headshots into a pyramid shape on the mirrors in the dance studio, covering up the images so she could reveal them one by one, bottom to top. while she criticized or praised.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.